Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Kill yourself.
The fuck.
Please kill yourself.
The fuck.
You should really kill yourselves.
The fuck.
Please kill yourself.
The fuck.
You should really.
Hey guys, Diesel Patches is one of the worst commentary channels I've had the displeasure of coming across. He's closing in on 1 million subscribers, and his videos are generally liked by the masses. I'm making this video because I believe he is not held accountable by the commentary community, and most of those criticisms are encapsulated in 2 videos. And for Diesel's fetus fanbase that will inevitably click off the video and dislike, well, you're just as stupid as your retarded idol. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
And while she has a big fat tumor, she's not the focus in this video. It's all on iDubbbz. For years now, we've simply stood by and watched iDubbbz's girlfriend act like a toxic thought, but we kept saying to ourselves, you know, while iDubbbz's girlfriend is complete AIDS, at least he's not directly affecting her behavior. Until now. Yeah, before, we gave him a pass because he technically wasn't being hypocritical or anything, plus he's one of the most loved YouTubers on the website, but now he's definitely acting like a hypocrite.
I don't see how Anissa's behavior can be pinned on iDubbbz. I know this will come up a lot later in the video, but his defense for Ian being a hypocrite is very weak.
So at this point, we know they're still together, but many fanboys still had hope. I kind of lost faith in that post, and the reason why is because iDubbbz is smart enough to know what's going on online. This guy is the king of online culture. He's not going to be oblivious to the fact that his girlfriend has an OnlyFans account. He would know after at least a day. We gave him nearly a week. He's still with this bitch. That's enough for me.
Maybe, God forbid, he's okay with his girlfriend doing OnlyFans. And idiots like you, Diesel, should seek help for having that mentality. And this is not a one-off thing. He genuinely believes he has the right to influence their relationship throughout the entire video.
iDubbbz is well aware of the fact that he's in some drama, and he would be completely aware of this joke being in poor taste considering the situation he's in.
Jesus Christ, you're portraying it like he's being accused of rape and making a joke about it. And to me at least, it seems pretty obvious that this was alluding to a response video.
He's even fine with her flexing the money she's made in order to justify the shit she's doing, which is something he criticized RiceGum for.
Yeah, this was a grasp at straws. You're trying to compare Anissa saying she can afford a nice car to RiceGum doing shit like making it rain on homeless people. You took this tweet completely out of context to try to prove that Ian is in some way a hypocrite. If this is the best tweet you can show for Ian being a hypocrite, that kind of proves he's not a hypocrite. And even in that content cup, Ian says there's nothing wrong with having an expensive taste so long as you are not obnoxious about it and you don't bring it up constantly, as RiceGum did.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with having expensive taste. The problem arises when you're obnoxious about it.
And listen, this isn't a pimp thing. He's not making money off this girl. Well, for one, I'm sure he's the one who paid for her boob job. And secondly, pimps don't care about their hoes. It's like none of you have seen Boondocks.
Yeah, there was another point that you completely skipped over, was that she did OnlyFans to validate herself and earn her own money. And you know damn right, if she didn't do OnlyFans and she went on Twitter to brag about being able to afford an expensive car, people would call her a gold digger. And for the people saying that Anissa is using Ian, I don't think that's true. And Diesel's tweet that he used would completely disprove that. And even then, if she was doing it for fame, wouldn't she have just left his ass already?
So at least his fetus demographic will be too distracted and stupid to realize the situation he's in and automatically forgive him. An appropriate response would be to call out his fake-ass girlfriend to break up with her and admit he was wrong. And yes, I do think breaking up with her is the right thing to do. If you haven't noticed, she's kind of a toxic cunt. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I think H3H3 has responded to criticism better than this.
Yes, my brother. The correct response to having a bunch of shitlords whine at you on Twitter is to cut all ties with your girlfriend completely, even though you've made it very clear that you are okay with it. I mean, you should always take advice from Diesel. Why do these idiots think they have a right to say these things without a single thought in their mind saying, hey, maybe this is a complete invasion of privacy on a topic That is none of my business.
Actually, I don't think Ethan thinks the tweet's funny. He's just sucking iDubbbz's dick so he doesn't make a content cop out of him. But then again, iDubbbz is currently acting like the people he makes fun of all the time. So he probably wouldn't have any leverage to do that.
No, Diesel. I could never name another person that would suck off a YouTuber with much more influence than them.
Actually, funny enough, he has already made fun of people like him and his girlfriend.
You're a whore. You're a whore, just admit it. You're a whore, you whore yourself out online, you whore yourself out in front of your family and your friends. You're a whore, plain and simple.
Oh my fucking god, you deserve to get thrown into some gulag. This fucker cannot distinguish satire and actual intent. Not only did you take this out of context, but again, if this is one of your only pieces for Ian being a hypocrite, he's kinda automatically absolved of being a hypocrite because this doesn't prove anything. How many clips will you take out of context, you dumb cunt?
But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to stop watching them forever because they fuck up once. However, if they continue to ignore the situation, we need to hold them accountable.
I completely and wholeheartedly agree. So why don't you start with your own channel? I mean, the community has obviously failed on keeping your channel in check, and that's why I'm making this video. So what do we have to hold iDubbbz accountable for in this video? So in your incoherent ape ramble, all I could make out was you criticize Anissa and not Ian. You took some clips out of context to try to prove that Ian is a hypocrite. You made fun of H3 for no reason. Oh, and you called Joji and Maxmofo hypocrites. Fuck you. You proved nothing and you made yourself look like an idiot.
Stop malding over seeing a pair of tits. It's pathetic. First of all, women are property. They were created by the Lord Jesus Christ for our entertainment. Second of all, yes, she has the power to do that. But iDubbbz also has the power to break up with her. A girl who gains her money by having the bald man cry is no way, shape, and form good for a relationship. And add on to the fact that iDubbbz has made fun of people like you before, and we get a hypocritical toxic fest.
My god, is there so much wrong with this statement. So first, Diesel cherry picks a bad tweet to respond to. For the third time, he insinuates that they should break up because he doesn't agree with Anissa. You're such a fucking cunt. If you're gonna make such a bold claim, please elaborate on it and add evidence. If you're gonna make such a bold claim and not elaborate on it in any way, then it kind of just invalidates your whole argument. And then the cherry on top for this garbage cake is another hypocrisy claim, which is him claiming that Ian has made fun of girls like Anissa, and then fails to give examples of girls he's made fun of that are like Anissa. I guess that it's Tanamongu, but even then, in no point in that content cop did he say, I don't think you should be posting booty pics on Instagram. That's not what that content cop was about.
And fuck these people shitting on iDubbbz. He's a genuinely good dude, and what he and his girlfriend do is none of your business. Actually, it kind of is. It's online for everyone to see, so it's everyone's business. Or for at least the people that care. Going by your logic, everything Leafy did was none of your business. Yes, it was online, but it didn't directly affect you. So why did I not see people like you calling out iDubbbz for criticizing Leafy? Did Leafy's antics affect iDubbbz directly? No, and it shouldn't matter.
But what goes on in their personal life is not your business. You can make fun of Anissa for being toxic or doing OnlyFans, but constantly insinuating that they should break up because they did something you don't agree with is completely not your business. I don't know why you keep making this argument and digging yourself a deeper hole. And the Leafy argument you make was pretty poor. It's a completely different context to the iDubbbz situation. So Leafy hiding his chin was an ongoing thing in his videos and was all online. You trying to speculate about stuff that is off camera, like you're their fucking couples counselor, is not similar to that in any way. Yes, if you could pull clips of Anissa abusing Ian or cucking him live, that's completely different. You might have an argument there, but you're just pulling shit out of your ass.
iDubbbz still makes amazing videos and Ethan gets hate for literally no reason. I've yet to see a legitimate claim as to how he's as bad as everyone says he is.
Well, I'd link you a video of my buddy Gokinaru rightfully criticizing Ethan for an hour and a half, but I'm pretty sure Ethan's thin skin flagged it.
Yeah, I don't know why you responded to this tweet. It only defended Ian for a few words and mainly defended Ethan, which is kind of irrelevant to the video. You cite Gokinaru, and I love Gokinaru. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and I love the video vigilante. but it's kind of irrelevant to the video and just kind of proves my point about you sucking him off.
You know what, even ignoring the context behind this whole situation, I don't care if he's not hurting anyone. I'm still gonna make fun of him for it, I don't care. I mean, iDubbbz has made fun of people who weren't directly affecting anyone else but were being toxic and annoying. How is this any different? You guys don't apply the same logic to someone you like. That's how it is.
No, it's not, and why did you make this video? And although this video is somewhat primarily defending iDubbbz, there are some good videos on this topic that somewhat criticize Ian to an extent, and I will name one of these later in the video when it's relevant. So we've reached a point where I'd say at least 50% of the Diesel Coomers have clicked off the video and disliked it. If you've still stayed, I hope you can begin to see the terrible commentary that Diesel brings to the table. Oh, and side note, remember a few months ago when I made a video about Diesel's bumbling incompetence when covering the pyro situation, which forced him to retract his statement twice? So he made an apology video for his incompetence on the situation and said he would not make any more drama-related videos.
Obviously, I'm not mature, responsible enough to handle situations like these, so I'm just gonna back off and let other people talk about them. I don't trust myself talking about it, so not even gonna attempt to do it.
And he has uploaded 2 so far. 2. Look, I would love to see Diesel change, but if you're going to change, you have to actually stick to it and not stray away from it. What you've shown is that you haven't changed, and that's why I'm making this video.
After all the shit talking he's done to other YouTubers, this is the first time he's been under fire. He just sucks at defending himself, and this video is pretty evident of that.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to defend yourself on not being a simp when most of the videos calling you one don't even give you a coherent reason why. And as I said earlier, most of the good videos didn't even criticize Ian for the simp meme. They just criticized Anissa, but found a way to intertwine Ian into it that somewhat criticized him. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't, but it's good criticism. It's not like this shit.
And I know there's that small group of people out there who are like, well, personally, I don't think he did anything wrong, and it's none of your business. Well, good for you. When you're done sucking his cock, we'll allow you to come back to reality.
You tell the iDubbbz fans to come back to reality, yet you don't elaborate on your more extravagant claim. Tell me what to come back to reality for. If it's him being a simp, yeah, fine. You accomplished that. It doesn't really change much about him. Doesn't really change how I view him. As one of the largest commentary channels of 2020, you should know how to structure an argument. Okay, Diesel, so first, you have to make a claim that is warranted. Second, you have to back it up with evidence, and third, you have to elaborate on it and give reasoning to why this claim is substantial and why the evidence supports it. It's basic shit, bro. You should be able to do that on your own.
How dare you try to act like you know who I am? I don't know, maybe it's because you made videos since 6 years ago on YouTube. We've kind of grown to know you as a person, seeing how you've been online for so long. Does that mean we know everything about his personal life? No. But from what we've seen over the years, we can kind of have a good idea about what kind of person you are.
So you said earlier that you only watched Content Cop, so how the fuck do you know who Ian is? The Content Cops only make up a small fraction of Ian's channel, and it's pretty obvious when you go to his other content that he's hamming it up to quite an extent. And have you ever heard of an internet persona? I mean, clearly not, as you actually thought Filthy Frank was genuine thoughts from Joji earlier in the last video. As a person who's watched Ian from 2015 all the way to now, it's pretty obvious the man has changed quite a bit. As I pointed out in my previous video, he hasn't said the N-word since 2018, and won't even say faggot anymore. So, I don't think that claim is very valid.
Yeah, sorry Ian, not enough people are on your side for you to act this pretentious. It's pretty obvious why people are upset about this whole situation. There's a video of you mocking sluts, and you're dating one. Pretty obvious towards why people are calling you out. And I don't want to hear all those little fanboys screaming at me being like, well, it's not that big of a deal, maybe he is being a hypocrite. Well, where were you when iDubbbz was criticizing people like Leafy, Rice Gum, and Tana Mongoose about being hypocritical as well? Apparently it was a big deal back then, but since iDubbbz did it, doesn't matter, I guess.
And once again, he goes for the green screen argument. I don't know how a human being can have this much ignorance built up in them. And if this is the only piece of evidence you can bring forward to prove Ian to be a hypocrite, well, either he's not a hypocrite or you lack basic research skills. Also, hypocrisy is only a compelling argument when the person being a hypocrite does something that directly affects someone else. For Leafy, being so insecure about his chin, yet bullying children, was hypocritical, and it was affecting other people, the children. Tana using the N-word as a pejorative, yet criticizing iDubbbz for using it comedically, was compelling because she was basically just slandering iDubbbz. And for Ricey, it's pretty obvious, him recording girls without their consent, yet being very uncomfortable when Gabby did the same to him, was hypocritical because he both affected Gabby and the girls. So with that in mind, a satirical green screen compilation in which Ian pokes fun at sluts and whores and his girlfriend whoring herself out is not compelling in the slightest. And also, they are two completely different contexts.
If you don't want to look up to me anymore, that's fine. I don't want you to look up to me.
No. You don't get to claim the moral high ground for years and then act like you're just as shitty as everyone else.
When did Ian ever claim moral superiority? In the Rice Gum Content Cop, he even said he wasn't morally superior to Rice Gum, just saying that he's worthy of criticism.
Well, you have some pretty horrible comprehension because I was hardly calling you out for it. I used it as a point to illustrate that you can be criticized for it. I didn't say that I'm morally superior to
The
you.
reason I'm pissed off is because his fan base is acting more hypocritical than he is. iCooks has called out people on their bullshit, and his audience winked to his content harder than 12-year-olds winked to his girlfriend. Essentially what I'm saying is that they were fine with it. But when the tables have turned, we suddenly now have to mind our own business. Which, I first have to say, is a pretty stupid argument considering his girlfriend puts her fucking taint online. But let's go by that logic. What business did you or iDubbbz have ranting on Leafy and Rice Gum? Their bullshit didn't concern you, so why are you so upset?
Diesel provide no context to statement. So Neanderthal Diesel here believes that flexing on homeless people in the street and using the N-word as a pejorative is on the same level as your girlfriend doing sex work. And Diesel deliberately leaves out the part where it shouldn't be your business to speculate about someone else's relationship. I don't know why you left that out, probably because it pretty much shits all over your original video. That's tantamount to me pulling this community post on your YouTube channel saying, your girlfriend stopped by and prevented you from posting. Dude, she's leeching onto you, man. You gotta break up with her. She's evil, dude. See how stupid that looks? And the next gem, you're really gonna like this one.
And again, stupid argument. This is all online for us to see. It's open for the public. It's our business if we want it to be our business. It's not like anyone leaked this information. iDubbbz's girlfriend is proud to be a slut, and apparently iDubbbz is proud too.
I did not take that out of context. That is Diesel's genuine opinion. Go watch that video in full. That's the entire clip. Oh my god. I don't know if he's either deliberately leaving it out or if he's just rock stupid. Both, in my opinion.
Okay, so iDubbbz picked a 15-year-old to represent the other side of the argument, you know, the bad guys that disagree with him. Yes, the tweet was dramatic, but I don't expect a logical response from a young teen. And the fact to use that to represent the other side that disagrees with you is complete horseshit. Also, real mature putting this kid on the chopping block. It's like you're turning into goddamn Leafy.
I do agree it was stupid on Ian's part to put this kid on blast, though the way you present it makes it seem a lot worse than it is. This portion of the video was not defending his stance on sex work. It was more or less about the way his fanbase perceives him. You can go watch on his stream highlights channel. People will constantly email him and say shit along the lines of, I miss the old days when you were a faggot and no one cared, and you could eat pickles in the sewer and say the N-word whenever you wanted to.
Hey bitch, I really miss the old days of you. By the way, you gay. Hey, and I was a huge fan of you in the beginning of your career, and I miss the old days where no one gave a shit on what people said, 'cause you're an F-word.
I mean, I kind of feel like I would lose my mind after getting those emails. Like, It's like, what the fuck? If you're genuinely making an effort to change yourself, and there's people in your audience that are like, I want you to go back to the old days, it would kind of make me pissed off too. But I do agree it was stupid for Ian to do this. You get that one, Diesel. Good job, you got 1 point. And by your logic, if you could sum up Ian's entire existence from just a few content cops, you'd know in the Leafy content cop he said this.
Straight off the bat, I want to let all the newcomers to my channel know that I'm perfectly fine with bullying. Make fun of someone because they're fat, autistic, or riddled with acne. I don't care. Make fun of them.
No, iDubbbz, you should break up with her. But I'm cool with it. You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your girlfriend. But I guess it's out of sight, out of mind, it's not a problem.
Who is this even directed to? Yeah, please find me the person who is calling you out who also has a girlfriend posting lewd photos of herself online, and I'll say, you know what, you might slightly have a fucking point.
Yeah, this part from Ian was kind of fucking dumb. Not only is it pure speculation, but it allows Diesel to skip over the part where it completely shits all over his original video, in which Ian says that he's fine with Anissa doing OnlyFans. That was the original point of your video, is that she's manipulating Ian.
I would say skank and slut, but never was that part of my argument. It's just flavor. It's just flavor. Like, in the future, I'll probably say slut and skank again.
Again, this part shits all over Diesel's original video, saying that he used skank and slut, for flavor and not as an insult. So what does Diesel do when he's been cornered on a point?
I probably will if my girlfriend will let me. Don't want to offend her.
Well, he makes a shitty joke, which is something that he criticized Ian for in the original video. Great work, Diesel. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Also, good job leaving out this clip.
You're a whore.
And just to hammer home the point that Diesel does not learn from past mistakes, he uses the same fucking green screen argument again. This is just about as infuriating as it is comedic to watch.
Yep, that's the only reason why we're upset. It's not you being a cuckold or anything. I mean, you've talked shit about pretty much everyone, and when people start to talk shit about you, you're like, why is everyone getting upset? It's not a big deal.
It's not a big fucking deal. As I said earlier, allowing your girlfriend to do OnlyFans is not at all comparable to making it rain on homeless people, using the N-word as a pejorative, making fun of a child with Down syndrome, and airing unvetted rape accusations. How many clips will this guy take out of context? It's giving me brain cancer.
Just because you have no shame doesn't necessarily mean you're not in the wrong. And no, people aren't upset because you're simply okay with sex workers. It's because your girlfriend is a sex worker. I don't give a shit if girls whore themselves around. But if they have a boyfriend and they're okay with that, then yes, I'm gonna call them a pussy.
Okay, you finally gave a rational claim as to why Ian deserves criticism. It took you 17 minutes and 32 seconds to do so. I can't really defend this point because it's mostly based on opinions. I will say, though, that criticism should not be based on your own moral beliefs.
This isn't done impulsively. Like, what do you think? Someone's just gonna make an OnlyFans just on a whim? Didn't give it any thought, just thought maybe I'll sell my pussy online and see how it goes.
You didn't really explain why this isn't a con. I don't know why iDubbbz thinks that just simply being self-aware means you're in the right.
It's pretty obvious what Ian was saying here in regards to the internet being a forever archive. He says it's not done impulsively, which implies that him and Anissa sat down and actually thought of the pros and cons of this. It's not like they didn't think of this before doing something this big. I mean, I can tell why you chose not to say that in the video. Obviously, Atozy commented on your video. Gives you another chance to suck off some more YouTubers and get some more subs. Okay, this is the point in which I want to shout out a good video on this topic, which actually criticizes Ian to an extent. It's by Andre Turbea. It outlines the argument of future jobs much better than our friend Diesel here.
I do think a lot of the critique thrown at them at the moment is a little bit misguided. The argument that she won't be able to get hired in the future is a little hypocritical. There's plenty of examples of women who kickstarted their career by either doing porn or stripping, like Cardi B for example, or Kim Kardashian, Lana Rhoades.
Also, the dog shit story you brought adds nothing. A teacher caught doing something sexual online is much worse than almost any job. Obviously, she would be fired because she works in an environment with kids. I mean, do you think Anissa aspires to be a teacher? If you couldn't already tell, she's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yes, we're retarded for calling you out on your own hypocrisy. Now, as for the people slut-shaming the women who go out there and basically sell themselves, this notion that this is a retarded opinion is kind of stupid. Now, again, I don't really care if you go around and suck a bunch of cocks, but don't act like it's a normal, healthy thing. People are reasonably gonna judge you.
I can tell you came into this video with a very conservative mindset. You completely ignore the fact that open relationships and whatever the hell Ian's in do exist. I think PewDiePie had a pretty good take on this topic.
If I had to politicize this whole thing, I would say that a lot of people that watch his iDubbbz throughout the years and enjoy his content, most of them probably have that, like, this overly edginess, tend to have conservative views around relationships. That's just the majority standpoint, which obviously clashes hard against what he even said in the beginning of what his actual opinions are, which he hasn't apparently never really shared. I find it hard to believe that this many people actually care deeply about this, someone else's relationship, but I think it's because it's iDubbbz, the golden boy. If this was anyone else, no one would really give a shit.
I mean, iDubbbz did portray himself in the earlier days as very edgy, anti-PC conservative, and I think that attracted, you know, the target audience of that type of humor, though his character in later videos shows a very different person underneath all of that satire. So that's basically the video. The 3 most egregious examples of terrible commentary based on this video were: he takes clips out of context, he can't structure an argument to save his life, and he bases a lot of his arguments off of opinions. I think it was good to make this video because of how terrible Diesel's 2 videos were on this topic, combined with the fact that he faced 0 community backlash on it. I don't expect this video to even surpass 100 views, but at least I can satisfy myself that I was able to make it. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope I can make more videos like this. Diesel fans, if you somehow stuck around to this point, I commend you for that, and I have more respect for you because of that, and thank you.
Get up and you go home. Sit at your computer and open up Google Chrome and then look at tutorials on how to hang yourself at home. And then you can hang yourself.
Guys, I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there. What the fuck?
Is that the end of the story?
No, son.
Kill yourself.
The fuck?
Please kill yourself.
The fuck?
You should really kill yourselves.
The fuck?
Please kill yourself.
The fuck?
You should really kill yourself.
I got a little bit of that anal cream for your asshole.